Hello, Adam. It's you, me, and all of the note takers.
That's quite funny.
It wasn't when the note taker. They do. Oh, geez.
Yeah, I have to laugh.
I must be conflicting with another meeting again somewhere. So, how are you, mate? How's life treating you?
All right, to be fair, yeah, all right. I've just been on calls and meetings all day, and then I saw this one popped in. I thought, oh, come on, this one, say hello.
Get on and have a chat. How's all the launch going with you and Jackie and all of that sort of thing, mate?
It's a bit flat, to be fair. The webinar didn't get the traction we wanted,
Yeah.
so back to the drawing board, and now we're looking at different splitting the target market.
Yeah.
So, do you know Danny Clark?
Yeah, I know.
He's quite.
I was caught up with beers for Danny in December, in
Ah,
Birmingham.
nice.
I know Danny really well. Yeah.
Yeah. So had a chat with him,
Yeah.
and he's recommended some target markets and how we can target that by splitting GHL up a bit more.
Yeah.
And another chap who we hang around with, Entrepreneurs Circle, both Jackie and I are EC,
Yeah.
and having a chat with Nigel there, he was like, well, if you go for the bigger businesses, you could get them on board,
Yeah.
larger monthly reoccurring. So
Yeah.
it's what I'm looking at doing now is I'm changing my personal strategy to target the bigger ones, and we just have the social media going for the smaller SME side of things.
That's the beauty of high level. You can do the big ones, you can do the small ones, you can create for the big ones, template it and make it for the small ones.
Yeah, so that's the point. So that's effectively what I'm doing now from now hitting into next week, and start getting the launch going, really. You know, Jasmine AI is an unknown brand, with unknown in the industry, so let's start telling people.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's getting it out there. You've got the webinar, set it on Evergreen.
Yeah.
Run people to it, run ads to it, and away you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. The bit that I've been looking at with GHL is what the guy on Monday who does the roundup of what GHL has changed this week, sort of thing.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Been watching what he does to simplify his life and what he gets GHL to do with AI. So I've been looking into what API access and MCP access we can get to get the product to be like an absolute powerhouse for business owners.
Yeah, and it's the beautiful thing about the API with high level. It is really, really good. I've been playing around with a bit of that myself through Lovable and all of those sorts of things, and it really is amazing. You can do through Lovable, you can send an email or an SMS through GHL.
Nice.
You can have AI create it, check it, sort of train your agents, make sure it's all right. Press a button, send via GHL, and away it goes.
Yeah. You see, that's the fun part, isn't it? Now we're in the fun part.
Exactly right. You're only limited by your imagination these days, Adam.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
So,
but hi guys, to the guys that just joined us. My name's Steven. There's a few new faces here today. I was just having a chat to Adam. The whole idea of this call is to talk about GHL, network, get to know each other, help each other out, and all of that sort of thing. I started up a group quite some time ago in Australia when I used to live in Australia, and it ended up with about 700 people, and we were doing Zooms with 150 people, and there was a lot of connections made and a lot of business done through that. So I thought I'd try and bring that through to the Extendly family. So that's the idea of these calls, and just having a chat to Adam. So there's no topics or chats or anything that we need to talk about or have to talk about for those guys guys that are joining me. But if you've got a question, stick your hand up, turn your camera off, raise your voice up, type it in the chat, whatever you want to do. And I'll just try and talk about stuff until Charles gets here and answers all your questions. Adam laughs, but you've seen it though, Adam. You've seen it, mate.
Yeah, I'll answer that first, and then I'll just hand over to Charles to finish off.
Exactly. I've learned something from Charles too, because like he will answer basically with the same thing that I do answer with, but he'll take about 15 minutes to come to the answer, and he explains it all a lot in depth. So I need to sort of take that leaf out of his book and go into more options and more in depth and things like that when I'm explaining things as well.
Well, it's finding out the biggest thing when people ask me questions, finding out the purpose of the question. What is it you're trying to achieve? So, for example, going back to the API and MCP access, well, why is it there and what do we need? Because then we can get cool things for business owners, which attracts them into the ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's fundamentally the purpose.
Absolutely, and selling the solutions, not the tools. I don't care how it works. But have you played around much with the MCP and N8N and all of that sort of thing, Adam? Or
no, not at all. I've been doing off-the-shelf agents. So the big one that everyone was raving about was this OpenClaw, Claudebot and all that. And I'll be honest, I had my little hobby time I put to it. I could not get the little lobster to work properly, and Gemini was helping me, and I don't know which was more stupid, Gemini or Clawbot. Me for not knowing code and how to run on a Linux system, I admit I don't know terminal. However, Gemini does know terminal, and I couldn't get it to work. So last night I did a right, you are now deleted. But the idea is that there's a front end system like OpenClaw, using the API or MCP, really in this case, access to then have that as the business owner's front end. So now I'm actually thinking, okay, there's Agent Studio in there. When I've heard people and watched people talk about Agent Studio, it's quite stupid at the moment compared to N8N and all those others. However, can there be something in the actual GHL ecosystem that could do that anyway? I don't know, but that's where I am in my thought process right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I've heard of people doing it through MCP and N8N and throwing that Clawbot or whatever they call it these days on top will just make it even more powerful. But it didn't worry you about, like I've been reading a lot of the access that Clawbot or Clawbot, whatever it is, has to your system with passwords and bank details, and that's stopped me from installing it.
This is a very old Lenovo notebook that I formatted, stuck Peppermint on, and then gave it full access to the Peppermint OS effectively. But because it was too stupid, I mean, I was using DeepSeek 3.2, which is the smartest DeepSeek model we can get. And it just struggled. Now it's an old Lenovo. It's got 4 gig of RAM. When I checked, that's the ideal specs to run OpenClaw. So I don't know what went wrong. I did install it when all the fluctuations going on. Yes, there's security risk. If you go on there and start installing from open source and people are putting malware in it, you are going to get burned.
Yeah, absolutely. You are going to get burned. So that scared the bejesus. That stopped me from doing other new thing to play with, new shiny thing. And then I saw a couple of posts from people I respect in the AI world, and they said, "Hang on, back off. Don't do anything right. Don't do anything right now."
I mean, I gave it sacrificial API keys, which I put, in big letters on my list. That change these API keys. I tried to run it. I set up a Discord account. I've never done Discord, so I set up Discord. I got it to talk for about 5 minutes until Gemini broke the link. Kind of thing. But big security thing. I wouldn't let it. I would not let it loose. Oh, the man, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend has arrived.
Good news is Charles is here. We can start answering questions. But hey, Charles, question for you: how many of Fur Patel's desktop mat workflow things did you buy?
2.
I knew you would. I was going to comment on that first.
I've been asking him for months. So he reached out to me during the design process of them. I was like, when you get this done, I want one.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was 2-3 months ago. So yeah.
If you don't know what, I'll just share what I'm talking about right here. This is my Facebook feed. It's full of junk. But a good friend of Extendley's, Fur, had created this.
Best thing ever.
What happens when they change the workflows, though?
Oh, yeah. It's not, someone asked that. Someone asked me that, and I was like, look, this is like anything else like this. It's updated at the time it is printed. Come back a year later, it'll be different.
You should sell it as a subscription service. Every month you get a new one.
I wouldn't want to keep it updated.
You charge $200 a year, not give 2 for free, and away you go. So that's just what we're talking about there, guys. Fur Patel is selling them. I don't they're not affiliated with me in any way, but I knew Charles would buy at least 2.
Yep, one for me, one for my kids.
Yeah, fantastic. Rodney, sorry, mate, I've kept you with your hand up for a while, mate. Ask a question away, mate. You go for it.
How you guys doing? I had 2 things real quick. With the conversation you guys were having earlier about Claude I found in problems with Gemini. I don't know if you guys know, but Google has a free software that they offer. It's called Anti-Gravity, and it's really good. I use it. I'm a programmer by I guess by trade, but mostly I do engineering and architect work. And like I work for Oracle, and they're kind of forcing us to kind of do more Oracle code. And this is different language, for me. But I've been using like Gemini, but I've been using Anti-Gravity, and kind of talk. It's like free, just how you can talk like Lovable and stuff like that. But you can build programs, and it's completely free. And you can choose different API. You can choose different APIs. Like you can choose Gemini, you can use Claude. There's a few other ones that they have built in, and you can just go back and forth, to like the different models. And if you have a pro account, you can connect your pro account to. I think you can connect your ChatGPT pro accounts to it too. And like it can build the whole website and everything for you, or application, or whatever that you're doing.
Amazing. So
like right now it's free.
Yeah, Adam, you're my resident expert on AI and tools. Have you heard of Anti-Gravity, mate? Or
I have. I've not used it, and I've just put it in on my little tab there to bookmark it for research. But I was absolutely amazed with Google's ecosystem that they've created with Gemini, Gems. What's it? There's a labs thing at the moment, Opal, OPAL. And that runs the back of Gems and connects to Notebook and LM and workflows and stuff like that. All for free. So, but I didn't realize Anti-Gravity. So can you build without an API key?
Yeah.
Wow.
It lets you, it's like it builds it. You can build on, like I was building like just straight web apps, and I was taking all my Lovable. I took all my apps that I had off of Lovable, and I had it reprogram it, into like to a just a regular whatever. It takes the React. I think Lovable uses something called like a React code or something like that. It takes it out of that format and makes it like a different format that you can just put on the web, and just like a web application, and everything works like it's the same way. And like depending on, there's still problems, like it doesn't know everything, but you can switch between different models. So like, let's say that if you're using Gemini and it's not really giving you, it's not really doing exactly what you want, you can just switch on the fly. Hey, let's use Claude. Let's use the Claude thinking. I think there's 3 different Claudes that you can use. like I have a pro account for Claude, so it allows me to choose those, and then it gives, but Google lets you choose all three of theirs. There's like a thinking version, there's like a fast version, and there's like a pro version. But they give you like, depending if you have a pro account or not, they give you like a certain amount of code that like you can do for free. But it's just like completely free, you know. So I
Amazing.
basically reprogram all my lovable stuff now. So I actually have my lovable stuff like on my own servers and stuff like that now. So I'm getting ready to close my lovable account. Right now I have a free lovable account now because I downgraded it.
Yeah. I might be hitting you
because
up for help soon. I might be hitting you up for help soon, Rodney. I've got building something on Lovable that I've got to turn into an app. And apparently Lovable's not good at doing
yeah,
that. And I've got to take it somewhere else. So
that would be perfect. That would be perfect for you to like use that, because like you can use different API keys that if you want,
yeah.
but it doesn't require it, you know.
Yep.
So, but I did have, Joe, real quick, I did have a question for, like, I had a GHL question for you guys. So um, I'm targeting managed service providers, and I'm trying to create a good offer. I've been trying to create like a good offer, and like say like I can bring these amount of. I was trying to figure out what's a good number of leads that I can say, hey, every month, I can find you guys 20. I was thinking like 20 to 30 managed service provider, options. That's kind of like uh, my niche audience that I'm looking for right now. So I'm trying to find like what's a good way of making an offer, with a GHL package. I'm trying to do like an all-inclusive offer,
Yeah.
but that includes leads and the GHL.
I personally always worry about leads and offering leads. I know Charles is going to have something to say here. Like it's not just the leads; it's the quality of the leads as well. What is the ticket price that people are selling that you're offering leads to? Is it a $10 ticket? Is it a $100 ticket? Is it $1,000 ticket? And pre-qualifying those leads, and because you can send as many leads as you want, so you can get a database of business owners and have thousands of leads, but it's qualifying those leads and how you go through that qualifying process so they're warm when they're ready to buy. That's what I would be more interested in, buying leads. That's just my thoughts. Charles,
Well,
we're
I
allowed
had
to
a
have
service
Jeff.
that I was licensing out. I had a service that I was licensing out
Yeah.
that was actually providing me premium leads for whatever niche audience that we're searching for. They had like some kind of super pixel that they're able to like has like this 500 million people database, and that gets really good. But that's not. I'm just really wanting to just see what's a good, if I was just using GHL services, like what's a good number that I can kind of say that I can kind of target for people.
It's still an open-ended question to me. I don't know the managed services field at all. Charles, help.
Yeah, I mean, I stay the heck away from leads.
Okay.
It's volatile.
Okay.
Because and I have the same reasoning for like ad services, providing leads. And it's because I've been on both sides of it. So I've been on the third party provider side and I've been on the client side. And anybody that knows anything, when you say leads, say, hey, if you sign up for our software, we're going to give you 100 free leads a month or 500 free leads a month. Okay, so you're going to give me 500 garbage contacts that probably have no interest in what I'm actually doing or have any money. Leads are just leads. I mean, leads are garbage. Nobody wants leads. Nobody needs leads. And if you talk to anybody that is successful in high level, they will tell you the exact same thing. No customer needs leads. They don't. They already have all the leads they need. What they need is systems and processes to help them leverage the contacts that they already have.
Right.
Contacts are always going to be 1,000 times better than any lead you can ever provide. That's just the bottom truth.
When you say contact, what do you mean? Like just
a contact already in their database somewhere, whether it's in their
right.
email, whether it's in another CRM that they're transferring from, whether it's a previous customer or whatever. Those contacts got into their system because they were either previously engaged or are engaged at some point. So there is a reason for them to be there. The problem with leads is that, you know, if I come to you and say, hey, okay, I'm starting a local, are you going after service-based, or like what kind of business are you trying to go after? Who's
So I'm
your
going after
ideal customer?
managed service providers. They're called MSPs. They're just IT companies that provide IT services to other businesses.
Okay. So let's specify it even more. Let's say, and I'm only going to this because it's the industry that it came out of. Okay, automotive.
Sure.
Let's say you're dealing with MSPs that strictly deal with automotive dealers.
Okay.
And you say, okay, I will get you a list of leads. I'll get you leads for automotive for your ideal client every single month.
Right.
You send me those leads. I start reaching out to them. What do you think majority of them are going to tell me?
Get lost. But
Exactly.
like,
So why
but I kind of meant
am I
just
paying
bring
you
the
for
people that work.
leads?
Well, so I don't want to. So okay. So maybe I missed. I don't want to actually, because I'm with you with everything like with you're saying. I want to provide people. You know how like so let's say with GHL, now that they have GHL, they'll be able to, they'll have the AI employees. So like they're gonna get people because they're gonna be for missed calls. So these are calls that, these are things that people that they wouldn't normally have that contact because they would miss that phone call, or because I'm doing the reputation,
That's
I'm also doing
fine.
reputation management. I'm going to be providing.
That is fine. That is fine. That is what high
Okay,
level is
okay,
designed for. But that
okay,
has
okay.
nothing to do with leads.
But the leads, I should leave the leads separate. I should, or like not do the leads. You said that's.
I wouldn't do the leads. I wouldn't even, because the other part of this, do you know why churn rate is so high? Leads puts you in traditional marketing. Do you know why
Okay.
traditional marketing agencies have such high churn?
Why is that?
Because you're basing your success off the client's success and ability to do their job. Let's
Right.
say
Okay. Because they're not
that you
following
actually
leads.
let's say that you actually, well, I mean, let's incorporate as much high level into this as possible. So let's say that
Okay.
you're sending them highly qualified leads. You know these people are their absolute customer avatar. Okay, you know they have the money, you know they need the service. They may already have that service, but you know they need them. This is their ideal avatar. Okay, you've
Okay.
done as good a job on the lead side as you can. Now you set up automations to automatically reach out and nurture these cold leads. You put them through reactivation campaigns. You have AI set up. You have all this set up. You know what the one part is that'll ultimately still make it fail? The human
If they don't reach
factor.
out to the call.
The human
Right.
factor.
Okay.
Just because you have all this
Okay.
automation, at some point a person has to do their job. And so
Right.
if you and you can't control that. You can't. There's no way to do it. You can't control the lazy salesperson. So why hinge your success off of someone else's action that you have no control over? That's why SaaS has such a low churn, because you're delivering exactly what they're buying. It doesn't matter if they use it or not. They are getting exactly what they bought. When you're saying that you're selling leads, they're not looking at it at leads. They're looking, okay,
Okay.
what are your leads going to get me? It's going to get
Right.
me more sales. It's going to drive our revenue to a certain point. There's a reason on my SaaS that I'm not going to get you more appointments. I'm not going to get you more reviews. I'm not going to get you anything. I can set up all the review automations in the world. But guess what? If nobody in your freaking building will do their job right, you're either going to
Right.
get a bunch of bad reviews or no reviews. And if nobody ever asked for a review, guess what? You're still not going to get as many reviews as you could. I
Right.
can't control what they do in their business. So I'm not going to hinge my success of my agency and business on
Right.
someone else's ability or inability to actually do their job. So you have to position yourself with the least amount of risk. What are the things that you can control? We can make it easier for your customers. Don't say I'm going to get you more reviews. You don't know that. You cannot guarantee that. What you can guarantee is that you can make the experience easier. You can make it more straightforward for the customer. You can make it easier for your employees to ask for that review. I give you a QR code, card, or, I print off flyers that you can put up in your building to make it easier for your salespeople to actually ask for a review, or your restaurant server to, get that review, or just for your customers that are coming into your building or doing services with you, make it easier for them to get to that point of leaving a review. I still can't guarantee that they're going to scan the QR code. I can't guarantee that. I have no control over that. And so if you reiterate that to your customer, you set the level of expectation. If the expectation matches what you're delivering, guess what? Your churn goes down. If your expectation, if their expectation doesn't match what you're delivering, guess what? Your churn goes up. That's the problem with marketing agencies, because they set an expectation in the customer's mind for one thing, but they can only deliver about 50 to 60% of it, because the other 40 to 50% of it is out of their control.
Right. Okay.
It may be a different way of maybe a different way of pitching it, Rodney, would be, I'm going to give you the tools to maximize every contact that you have in your database, where you're going to get everything we possibly can out of every contact you have, every lead you have come into the system, rather than making those promises. I'm going to give you the tools to maximize it. Mm.
So, like if I put that into like because I'm trying to make like an ad, so that I can like kind of bring people toward my business. Is like, how would I, like what will be like the actual offer? Because like I was more so saying a number of leads, but if you're saying that I should probably stay away from that, what is your offer? Do you have like an offer that you kind of?
I would almost I'd almost create an ad with a person with big hands squeezing a client and getting every last drop out of them, and saying, we will maximize every lead you have, or something along those lines. And then you're not promising X amount of leads, because Charles is 100% correct. Salesmen will always blame the quality of leads. That lazy salesman will say your leads are no good, they're junk, and they'll leave you, and your churn is huge. You can send more leads in. You can pre-qualify leads and sort of go down that qualification process. And a lot of lead generation people these days are promising booked appointments. So they're going through getting that lead, getting that person, nurturing them. But the no-show rate is huge on those calls. It's something around about 75%. So you're paying for each appointment booked, and they're not showing up. So yeah, exactly right. It's a vicious circle that you can be going around.
Rodney, I'll say, as far as speaking to what they're looking for, speak to the lifestyle that they're going to get by using your product. Instead of actually leads. Like, hey, for me, hey, if by you using my CRM or my whatever, it's going to free you up to do what you love. That's how I'm marketing to other businesses. Hey, you want to be able to spend more time with your family, focus on the product that brought this whole idea about for your business. Using my CRM will give you that access back to your life. It'll give you the freedom to do what you love, which is why you created the business, as opposed to giving you leads. Because if you're focused on, like they said, leads, then you're gonna, beat yourself over the head. So present the opportunity of giving them the lifestyle that they're looking for by using your software.
To simplify it even more, you want to know how I sold my first 15 clients? It's to Mallory's point. So I went back to where I came from, automotive. I already had a reputation there. That was, that's where I went back. My snapshot, if you even want to call it that, was so simple. Of course, this was in a much simpler time of GoHighLevel. We didn't have any of the stuff we have now. But my entire pitch, my system was automated follow-up and asking for the appointment. My pitch to salespeople, I didn't go to the store, I went to salespeople, because of the lifestyle. And I went up to him and said, look, let's be honest. We both know that salespeople are lazy. You want to do the least amount of work for the highest amount of paycheck. I'm not asking you to change that. Actually, I'm asking you to embrace that. All I want you to do is when a new lead comes in, you do the initial contact, call, email, SMS. And then if you don't talk to them, just move them into this pipeline stage. From that point on, the rest is automated and you don't have to do all the follow-up that we both know you're not going to do anyways. But in about 90 days, you'll start seeing these people reactivate because you've continued to reach out to them. You'll build your pipeline, and in 90 days, you will start having sales come out of that pipeline every single day. Where do I sign up? I didn't try to change their mentality. I already knew the lifestyle that they wanted. They wanted their manager to stop griping at them because they didn't do any of their damn follow-up like they were supposed to. They're freaking lazy. So, hey, let's embrace that. I am going to enable you to be lazy, have the lifestyle and job that you want to have, but also keep your manager happy because now you're not just letting things go away and end up selling somewhere else. So I built this. That was my pitch. I'm enabling you to be the lazy salesman you want to be.
Where do I sign up, Charles? Where do I sign up?
Right.
That's it. That's the lifestyle that they wanted. They wanted to go to work. They wanted to make money. They just didn't want to do call, text, and email 3 times a day, every day until the customer actually came in or told them to F off. Great. Let the system do it.
Right. Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
That was my whole pitch. That's how I sold 15 clients right off the rip.
And who are you reaching out to? Yeah, thanks. Who are those 15 clients? They were just people that's in your old CRM that you, or just people that you know?
People that I went to stores that I had worked with previously, and talked to their salespeople. I spent 20 years in automotive, so there wasn't many people I didn't know.
Right. Nice. So thanks. I think I'm going to go. That's why I think I'm going to IT. I'm trying to stick to that kind of field because I've been in the IT field for a while. So I have a lot of IT contacts.
Yeah, stick with what you know, mate. That's the easiest way.
Thanks.
Hopefully that helps you a bit, Rodney. And
no, definitely does. Thank you.
Right up the top, mate. You must be getting sore, mate. Your hand's been up for quite some time, mate. What's up? You there, Rod? Rod Harlan?
Sorry, I didn't hear the name. Sorry about that.
You're right, but it's the Australian accent. Nobody can understand a word I say.
I appreciate you doing this and having this group. So I have a dental client that I'm onboarding onto GHL. Although I don't. Here's what they want. They want voice AI. They're already A2P approved because they have a phone number they've had for decades, and outside of GHL, they were already A2P approved many years ago. I cannot bring that in to GHL because it is part of their patient management system, and they've got it interlinked with this other voice thing called Mango. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but anyway, that I cannot bring that number in. All they want is for the voice AI to text a booking link. They don't want to use any calendarization or any booking inside of GHL. They want to use it in their PMS. Their PMS right now, there is no, I'd have to jump through some hoops to get an integrator to really integrate it. It's called Curve Dental. It's one of the newer ones. There are a couple of people that are just starting that, but it's a bit of a mess. I could buy a new number and then go through A2P again, because my understanding is A2P is with the sub account inside of GHL, not with the company. So I would have to go through A2P again on a new number. They don't want that though, because they think it's going to be odd that voice AI, people will be calling in on one phone number, one main number, getting the voice AI, but then getting a text message from another number that they're not familiar with. So they don't really want that. Is there any possible way that I can somehow keep the A2P approved number in their patient management system and somehow get voice AI to text from that number. I don't think that there is, but I just thought I'd throw it out there.
I wouldn't think there is. But I'm not American, so yeah.
Okay.
So not yet. That feature. So there is a feature coming to GoHighLevel. Should be out this quarter, I believe. I don't have an exact time on its release, but essentially what you would be able to do is bring in a phone number only for messaging services, not for the voice. So the voice could stay wherever it's at, but you could enable messaging on that same number and be able to text from the system, including conversation AI, from that number.
That would be,
and this is,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, the traditional solution, the reason they're bringing this in is because someone has, let's say, a very intricate phone system in their business. It's a call center, and they cannot touch their phone. Like, their phones have to stay the same way that they are, but they're not using messaging on those phone numbers, or they're not messaging capable because they don't tie into anything that affords messaging. This way you could bring in that same number, but only on the messaging side, not on the call side. So the calls stay where they're at. The messaging, it's almost like verified caller ID, except for messaging. Now, that being said, if you ever want to do voice AI inside of if you ever want to use a separate phone number for anything voice related inside of the sub account, okay? All you need to do is purchase a phone number, go through A2P, and then in your phone settings, you'll set up a verified caller ID, which will essentially just ring their existing phone to confirm that it's their phone. And that will show if they ever make a call out of the system. It doesn't apply to SMS.
Okay.
But if they ever make it only applies to the voice side. But if they ever make an outgoing call or do AI outbound, it would show the caller ID of the verified ID, which is their main business number. So that way, even though it's actually calling from a different phone number,
got it,
it shows on the caller ID as their main phone number. That's what verified caller ID is in GoHighLevel. But sometime this quarter, they're supposed to be dropping the ability to pull in a phone number only for the purpose of messaging.
Okay.
And that's what you're needing.
Yeah. So Charles, before this thing drops, so let's say that you've had I'm sure this is not the first time this problem has come up for somebody. How have you solved this in the past? Like, what have you done in the past?
I'm a bad person to ask because I don't do any of this crap.
Okay.
I don't do custom solutions. So I like my sanity too much. Yeah, I mean, I know of people that have definitely dealt with this. And you basically just have to say, look, I know that you think that people remember your number and they care what number, and reality is that's just not the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Not in today's world. Nobody cares unless they're serving exclusively like 60 years old and up. And even now I'd probably push that age to 70 and up. Right. It doesn't matter.
It's just, and by the way, this particular dentist does actually, I live in Florida, and so they do serve a incredibly high amount of senior adults. But
no, I get it, yeah.
But it was more that they are constantly using this number to send appointment reminders and, all the messaging that they do all this now from inside of their patient management system. It handles all of that for them. The only reason they were doing this was just, hey, when somebody talks to voice AI and they want to like book an appointment, they were like, the easiest thing would be to just send them a link to our current booking calendar that is in the PMS, that is not GoHighLevel. And so I was like, okay, that sounds great, but the issue is going to be that it's going to be from this other number, and their whole thinking is, well, they're not going to tie that. Like, they're going to have two things in their text message. They're going to have, oh, I've got all these messages and it's saved under the name of that particular dental practice. And then here's this other number that is just a number, and it's not saved in their phones or contacts or anything. And so that was what they were kind of bringing up. But I see your point.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think it's going to cause near the issue that they. I
That
don't
they
think
think it
it'll
is.
cause any issue, quite honestly.
Okay. All right.
It's just a
I'll
matter
bring
of
it
you
up.
can convince them of it or not.
Thinking theoretically, and it's only theoretically, Rod, from my understanding, it's most numbers start with Twilio. So if you got the number back to Twilio, you could then call out via webhook from the two pieces of software and combine that number into one. It's just a theory, though; it's not tested. But Charles doesn't mess around with that stuff. I do.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles, one last question. Have you ever done any integration with any systems, whether it's like, where like the doctors who have like med spas or things like that, they have their own systems, dentists have their own management systems. Have you ever done any of those integration things or no?
So there is a platform. Hold on.
CRM connector is probably the one you're
No.
thinking about. Nope. Different. Ooh.
Let me see if I can. I'll try to find it. There is a. Here we go. Karagon. So Karagon is essentially the HIPAA version of Zapier. So check that out. They have a ton of integrations with healthcare tools. They deal specifically with healthcare tools, and of course other marketing tools. But you may find that's usually where, if it's anything medical related, I usually point them there. And it's essentially Zapier, but for medical.
Okay. Thank you.
And it is HIPAA compliant. So if they ask about that, it is HIPAA compliant.
My friend Gaetano. Has Charles put his price up yet, Gaetano?
Yes, sir. Hello there. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Hi, Charles. Hello, everyone. Real quick question. I think I understand the difference, or at least the core difference between me doing some onboarding or initial sub account setup and what the Extendly blueprint does with regard to the onboarding. And I'm getting the idea that there's a little bit of a need for both, at least for me to start the process and then Extendly complete the process. But I'm also understanding that if Extendly does the complete onboarding, then there's also I don't know, am I losing any kind of control over that sub account in any way?
No, it's your sub account. It's in your agency, Gaetano.
Yep. I'm sorry. That was the wrong statement. Am I losing from an architectural standpoint?
Yep.
Maybe go ahead and answer the question the way that you thought.
No, I used to worry. I think I know where you're coming from, Gaetano. I used to worry about when Extendly were doing my onboardings for me and how they were doing it. Like they'd met me, they bought from me, they did all of those sorts of things. And I was worried about it. And I used to go, and for the first probably half a dozen onboarding calls, I went to the onboarding call as well. I introduced my client to the onboarding agent and let them take over from there, because you can do an extra call if you want, but the whole Extendly in the partner program, the whole onboarding process is they set up everything technical to start with. They connect phone numbers and emails and domains. They set the expectations of what's going to be required to get A2P approval and to get the DNS settings and all of that sort of thing. And then it's just the implementation in building the bots and things like that. So architecturally, I would go along to the first few calls and introduce your client to your onboarding team and let them take over from there. That's exactly why the process exists. So you don't have to worry about it, and it is being done by professionals.
Okay, and I actually have two new clients that I've created their sub account, at least the initial stuff, and I'm getting ready to set up the appointment for the onboarding. Extendly is not going to provide strategy. I need to have that, or do I need to have that strategy ahead of time so that they know what to set up when they're onboarding the client?
So have you done your agency onboarding yet, Gaetano?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have. So was it spoken about then? Because we do customize the onboardings to you, but we're not going to tell them how to get leads or run ads or things like that, if that's what we're talking about.
Well, Stephen, you have to remember I'm 149 years old, and sometimes I can't remember, those things. But yes, I'm not so. I don't know if that specifically was covered. You know what? Maybe this is not a question for this particular group or this time.
That's it. Reach out. Who did your agency onboarding? Was it Alessandro? Was it Gaetano?
It was Oscar and Alejandra.
Yeah, Alejandro leads the onboarding team, so he would have sent you emails. Just reach out to him with any questions you have and any queries.
Okay.
But I would let the whole idea of buying into this program is to let Extendly go off and do it all for you. Just tell us what you want us to do, though.
Okay.
I hope that helps a little bit. Puts you at ease a little bit.
It does. Yeah, I thank you very much, Stephen.
That's okay. And Rod Harlan, I was going to, a good friend of mine, Sia, builds all of these APIs into medical, into dental and medical and all of that sort of thing. I can't remember the name of his business though, but I'll find it and I'll send you his details in a message, and he might have a workaround where he's tying in platforms with each other.
Okay, thanks. I'm actually going to put in the chat another integrator platform that's really reasonably priced and also specifically for high level. That's all they kind of do. I'm about to drop that in here in just a sec.
Amazing. My friend Frederick, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Stephen. Thanks. My query and investigation is back going into this setting up the Google business profile for the home service pest control company.
Yep.
So different people are giving me different roadmaps, and so what I'm trying to figure out, would it be best to have the pest control company say do the NAP process and then give me admin control? Or would it be best for me to just go ahead and set it all up and have them do whatever part that they need to do, such as the video verification and all of that? So I'm trying to figure that out. And my second part of the question is if people in the group here have set up the profile for their clients, what was their experiences? Thanks.
I've never set up a Google business profile for anybody, so my answer, Frederick, would be if you don't have to do it, get them to do it. It's much easier. But has anybody set up Google My Business profiles for their clients? Getting them. Adam wanted to say yes.
Yeah, no, not for the clients. I've talked them through it, but it has been a good 18 months since the last one I did, and I've had everything from postcards being sent in the post to phone calls coming through to Google profiles being deleted because they didn't meet some random criteria or the bots just deleted them and stuff like that. So it is from my opinion, it's a state of flux at the moment.
Yeah. Speaking about software, what's that software where you can send people when they sign up and they put in all of their details and they grant you Facebook admin access and Google business access and all of those sorts of things? It's sort of a couple of clicks and then they grant you access that was around. Take care, Charles. I'm not sure what the name of the software was, but you used to be able to send them this software and get all of their details, and it would grant you access to everything. That would probably be the easiest way to do it.
Was that for me, Steve?
Yeah, that was you. I can't remember the name of the software, Fred. It was around a couple of years ago, and when I knew people were doing ads and all of that sort of thing, you sent them this software, they put in their details, and it granted you Facebook admin access, Google My Business admin access, and everything like that. But I would say, Fred, with the phone calls and the texts and verifications on phones and the postcards that get sent out, I would suggest advising your client not on how to do it, and let them do it and save yourself a lot of headaches.
I see. Yeah, because again, I'm getting different approaches to this, and I kind of feel that myself. My feeling is that that's, so to speak, custom work, and that's something that I'm trying to stay away from throughout my GHL extended leave process. Since extended leave doesn't do third party tech support per se, I would imagine that they wouldn't have anything to do with setting up Google business profiles.
No, that'd be correct. And for those reasons I gave you, but they'll connect the Google My Business profile to GoHighLevel when it exists, and make sure the connection's there and stays there. But in actually setting up those profiles, no.
Right. I mean, and I can optimize it, of course, once it gets set up and all of that. And that's part of the reason why I would want to charge a more premium price, or even make it a separate price to do that profile. So yeah, I'm going back and forth on this issue.
Yeah, I think you answered your own question before, that you don't want to get in too deep into custom solutions into GoHighLevel. So if I was in your shoes, I would direct my clients to a YouTube video that showed them how to apply for a Google My Business if they don't have one already, and then take over from there.
Right. And I've kind of got an SOP just from my favorite model of Gemini, of how to set up a Google business profile.
Yep. Absolutely.
And my second part of my question here is this A2P process that Extended Leave has been working on for 9 days now.
Yep.
It's not keeping me from selling per se, but it is something that's keeping me from going, so to speak, all the way in. So when I do get a client like this home service company, I want him to be able to go live and to be all set up and ready to go as much as possible.
Yep.
So my question is what's going on with this A2P process, and who can I reach out to kind of say, hey, if it's not done, where are we at in the process?
And so I gather that you have support through a widget there, do you, Frederick, and all of that sort of thing?
Yeah, I've sent two or three requests, and I've even gone to the ticketing portion and addressed it. But in the last 2 days, it's just crickets. Okay. I haven't heard anything.
I'll reach out to JV, who runs our customer success and support team, and ask him on your behalf. But basically, A2P is out of our hands.
Right.
We know the process that works to get it approved. Every year, GoHighLevel has a problem in January with A2P, and it all goes crazy for all of you guys in the USA, because Twilio changed how they process and how the AI processes those A2P requests for approval. and it all changed. So everybody's working out the way and the sweet spot to get the AI to approve them automatically. We had a snapshot that did that. We've pulled that snapshot at the moment because it doesn't work anymore. And our team is actively working on the best ways to get you and your business's A2P approved. I assure you, Frederick, you're in good hands.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm actually running into this A2P problem with another phone vendor too. So it's not this. I know it's not GHL's fault or anyone's fault. It's the regulators that's doing this.
You know the easiest solution, Frederick? Move to another country.
Hey, I'm with that. I'm with that.
Get over to Australia. It's nice and easy over there.
All right, guys.
Hopefully that helps you, Frederick, and I'll reach out internally to the team as well and mention your name and see if they've got any updates for us.
Hey, I would appreciate that. I would appreciate it. It's Frederick Clifton at tradejobmanagement.com.
I've got all your details. I got the CRM sitting over there.
There you go. There you go. I know you do. I know you do. Take care.
You too, thanks. Matthew, you had your hand up before. Did you have a question or pull that question, or you just Charles is gone now, so you know it's not going to get answered?
Hi. I was going to speak to the Google business profile thing. So
absolutely.
So I've done a lot of those setups, and it's getting more and more difficult with the video stuff and all that. So what I do is I just do a screen share. I do a Zoom session with them, and then I just look over their shoulder and then walk them through the process of setting it up. That's what I find is the easiest thing, because we can always run into issues with trying to set up something like that for a client because of two-factor authentication. They need to find business information. I don't want to be doing any of this for them, but sometimes a client will not, they don't have any of that expertise, and one way or another they need to get it done. So I'll say, all right, well, I can charge you a fee and I can help you go through that process and set it up. But that's the easiest way that I've found to try to help somebody with like a Google business profile setup. It's really just be there with them while they do it, and then having a list of all the things that are going to happen. Hey, you're going to need these things, and let's do some prep work before we hop on this call to make sure that we can get through and get things kind of set up. But that's really the only way that I found to really help. And honestly, you're better off steering away from it if you can to begin with.
Right. I'm definitely not going to do it again. The reason why I kind of stepped into it this time is to just maybe for the experience. And again, this is definitely custom work that I'm not going to even bring up. It's going to be in my SOP to extendedly to make sure that my customers already have their Google business profile set up, and to make it sort of speak an incentive for them that once you do have it set up, hey, I'll optimize it to the best of my ability and best that my tech team can do it, but you have to get this set up. Thanks, Matthew. I appreciate that.
Great advice, Matthew. Thanks for sharing, mate. Frederick, just tell you, if they want to learn how to drive the car, they've got to buy the car first.
Yeah. I'm going to be having a meeting with them. Actually, I have it scheduled this afternoon here to kind of give him an update as to the whole big picture with the services that I'm going to have. He doesn't even know that he's going to get all the AI features just with what he calls his website. He's not aware that he's going to get a full-blown system. Well, he knows a little bit, but he's going to get a full-blown system with his website. I don't sell websites, I sell systems. And part of that is going to be not only the AI employee that's the core offer, but also some nurture and email sequences and all that. I'm not going way far into the tech world with them, but I got to give them something, some bonuses type of thing. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for the advice there, guys. Appreciate it. Gaetano, I just sent you a message back. I'm happy to chat anytime you like. I just put my calendar in the chat there for you, mate. And the good news is I'm decided to go to 4 days a week, but 16 hours a day. So, so I'm much more open to the US market as well now. So, so grab that
Thank
link
you.
out of the grab that link out of the chat there, Gaetano, and I look forward to catching up soon.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anybody got anything else they want to talk about, guys? Any questions? We're running out of time. My wife's setting the table now. Pouring a glass of wine now. I'm really tempted. But guys, once again, listen, thank you. Thank you for asking questions. Thank you for the people helping to answer those questions. That's exactly what this call is all about. You never know who you're going to meet in these calls, and you never know what connections you're going to make, guys. So thank you for those people asking questions. Thank you for those people answering questions. We got through it, although Charles was only here for about half the call. He's normally my go-to. I've never met anybody that knows as much about GHL as him. But guys, till next week, take care, be strong, have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you all next week. Take care, guys.